giving me your time. I'm going to start with the most important question, which I think a lot of people won't realize, which is if it was not for American Idol, there might not be you as Reacher.
Yeah, that's true. I think I had to go through the musical gauntlet of Paula and Simon, and yeah, I think I mean that was the thing that brought me to LA for the first time. I was just sort of like searching for what to do with my life, and I had a lot of friends tell me to audition for that show. And when I was flown out to LA, I loved the energy of the people that were there. I felt like everybody was like it felt like the stakes for everybody else was like life and death. And I'd never really felt that way before about anything, like everybody just wanted whatever they wanted so bad. And it's the reason I moved out after after my time on the show. I was like, I think I'm gonna go try things out there, just be around artists that like are that hungry and see what that's like. But yeah, that is what brought me to LA.
Yeah, I think it's most people go to American Idol to win, and you went to American Idol, and it just opened another door in your life.
That's just stepping stones. Lots of
Yeah,
stepping
totally.
stones.
So
Yeah.
one of the things I'm curious about for you is you're in this very great place where you're working consistently on a TV show, and I know how long the hours are and how many months you work. So how do you decide on the hiatus where I want to, like, what do I want to film and where do I want to stop and just be with family? Like, how do you do that work-life balance? What makes you say yes to a project in between seasons?
That's an incredible question. And you're actually coming at me at a time in my life where I'm like really rethinking how to approach that answer. I've always been a little of the mindset like, I grew up without a lot. I started running away from home when I was 16. I lived in a truck for a long time behind a grocery store. And then when I was able to move into the projects when I was 18, I moved into the projects. And you know, I just, I've always known I need to like explore and experience things for myself to learn. And I, you know, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just sort of wanted to be anywhere but where I was. And when you come from that kind of background, you have a kind of grit and determination to like sort of do anything to survive. And so for me, that's manifested in my career in ways that are like I'll say yes to everything if there's time. If I have 2 minutes and the job is 2 minutes long, I'll take the job for 2 minutes. And I'm finding at this point in time now, I'm reaching a place where it's actually dangerous to like kind of operate with that mindset because quality matters so much at this point. The kind of jobs that I do matter so much. The kind of filmmakers that I work with matter so much. I have to be more selective and careful. That's just on the career side. I've always just said yes, and like I've worked for like the last 2.5 years without a break. The following week from now, this will probably air much later, but for me, mid-November of 2025 is the first time I've had a break in 2.5 years, and I really need one. But also, like you said, like on the family side of things, family is very important to me. I think it's one of the many pinnacles of our human existence, and it's something I fail at tremendously. Um, because I never know how to serve their needs in a way that like matters to them. We homeschooled the kids for a long time, and up until my oldest is 13 now, up until he was 12. And they started like really craving normalcy and friendship and stability and community and wanted like traditional school. And so what we thought we were doing a good thing for them by traveling together all the time, and they started to resent it and resent me in a lot of ways. And so now they live away from me, and so we're now the pendulum has swung all the way to the other side, and I never see them, and I have to work incredibly hard just to get a few hours with them on a weekend. And so I feel like I can never really find the right happy medium there, but the answer for me right now at this point in my career is to pull back. So I had a project that I had set up with some pretty incredible filmmakers, and I was really proud of it. I'm happy that it's going forward with somebody else in my role. Um, but it's the first time in my career I've backed out of a project so that I could just have time at home and time to myself and stuff. So you're finding me in that moment right now.
By the way, I totally get it. I know exactly your mental headspace because it's like, you've been a working actor for a long time and it's like the dream to be offered roles. Totally get it. So I definitely want to talk about Playdate. And I'm just curious, was it you getting to battle children that made you say yes to this?
Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, when I do come home and spend time with my boys, I mean, it's a rough house, like especially my oldest, like he's got nobody to pick on, his size or bigger in the house. He's got two younger brothers. And so when I come home, it's like, all right, let's get some of that energy out on somebody your size, So I like that kind of stuff. I think it's fun and funny and the sort of chaos that you get in a family of boys, or if you're a father with a son. I mean, it's there's just a lot of adventure there. So yeah, I mean, I'm a family guy. Like a movie about two dads trying to trying to create a better adventure for their sons. It's just like it's the perfect storyline for me.
I'm so curious. So the ending credits of this has a blooper reel. I like seeing blooper reels, but sometimes I've spoken to actors and they're like, "Oh, I wish we didn't have that." But like they say that under their breath. So I'm just,
Oh,
because they don't want to show like the mess up. Some
oh
people are more
no,
serious.
no, no, dude. That's to me. I mean, I would almost rather just like forget the movie. Like the blooper reels and the behind the scenes to me, and in my life, and even on like something like Reacher, our Reacher is like incredibly difficult to make. But dude, if you could be a fly on the wall for our process and what we go through to bring that show to people, I mean, I think that's like incredibly interesting. It's a fascinating thing that nobody knows about. And it's the same thing for a comedy, but a comedy is even better because like it's just people like ultimately you end up like dying laughing all day because the mistakes or where you go or where your ideas take you are usually to a funny place. So I think the blooper reel for this would be hysterical.
No, no, it is. I laughed a lot. I definitely want to know. You obviously grew up watching Kevin James, I'm sure at some point. So, what was it actually like sharing the screen with him? Slash, what surprised you about working with him?
All good questions. Yeah, I mean, anytime I get to share the screen with these legends, these guys that I grew up with that have carved out an enormous space for themselves, like there's always a bit of a pinch me moment there, and this was no different. You know, I was surprised. Like I remember the first time we met, we met over Zoom, and I couldn't believe how like smart and astute and keen he was on like diving into like what the inner workings of the characters and our work together in the script. Like, I mean, I'm not really surprised by it these days, but a lot of times like there's just this assumption that like comedians don't take their selves or their work very seriously. And it was like I was so impressed by how bright he was. We just had an amazing conversation, and we're both hungry to do the film for the same reason, same reasons. And so when we came together on set, it just felt like, man, we really like respect each other. There's like a lot of mutual respect, and really want to see how we both can individually add value to each other. And I think we endeavored every day to do that. He wanted so badly for to just like how can we help make each other better. It was a really great experience. And then beyond that, he's just like a super funny dude. His improv is bar none like some of the best I've ever been able to work with. So it was a joy just to see him do what he does.
I am like millions of people around the world, a big fan of Reacher. I'm almost out of time with you. I know you're filming the new season right now. How much longer do you have in terms of filming, and what do you want to tease fans about this season versus the first three?
1 week left. 1 week left, and again, like I was saying, it's a journey. Like it's like I feel like the way the presidents come out of the White House like looking gray and old, like that's like how I feel each year doing Reacher. I feel like I different like 10 lifetimes have been lived. So for me to be a week away, it's like I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but also. And I'm always one to manage expectations. I want to have a really transparent, authentic, real relationship with my audience, so they really know what to expect and can trust me, And I was panicked coming out of season three because it was so well executed for the audience's experience. I felt like it was so in the wheelhouse for what Reacher is and what that experience should be for audiences. I called my showrunner worried. I was like, we're never going to be able to top this. It was so perfect for what we do. I like it's only down like now everybody's going to be disappointed going forward. And he's like, we just have to be different. We just have to keep trying to be different. We don't need to top ourselves. Let's just make it a new experience so people don't know what to expect. Because Reacher's world, what the trouble you can get into is so different. And this is so different and so unexpected. And it is for sure the best season we've ever made by a long shot. So I'm very excited for people to see this. But with a week left, I'm ready for a break. Yeah.
Totally get it. One of the things that I give you guys so much credit on Reacher for is you are putting movie set pieces on TV in terms of action. And for people that don't realize what that takes, can you sort of talk about like how much time it takes to actually do some of those big action set pieces? And because it's really impressive.
Thank you. It's really complicated. I mean, because you can look at it from a few different perspectives. Like you can look at it from a money angle. Like, what do feature films that have the kind of scope that we expect in a theatrical action movie? What kind of money do they have for those set pieces for the action? The time that they get to prepare, to design, to build, to practice, like all that is just more money, more time for less amount of screen time. I mean, you could just do so much with that. And it's a rat race in TV. I mean, the budgets are so much smaller comparatively to feature films, and yet the expectations, I mean, we're really, especially a lot of features are now streaming for the first time on the same platform. So viewers don't have anything to distinguish between these days. You just expect feature film quality all the time because everybody's a neighbor. So it really like we really have to raise the bar to meet those expectations, and we should, and we should be able to do that. And we work tirelessly to do that, but it's difficult. We don't have the time to prepare. One of the ways this I'm not like woe is me, but like one of the ways that we make it work is, usually in a feature film you have weeks or months to prep for fights, to learn them, to perfect them, to build, to design. We schedule lunches in our day strictly so that I can go practice our stunt rehearsals and design action. Like I haven't had a lunch all year. I shoot. We're doing one fight, and then I go learn and practice and help design the other one, and then back. It's exhausting, but that's what we have to do in TV to try to like meet those filmic standards and the standards that I have for myself and this IP. But so it's just you got to do a lot more with a lot less time, money, resource, and all that. And that's is what it is. But I think we found a way to execute well. We have a good system in place, and at least for now, it's working.
Yeah, I give you guys a lot of credit. I got to stop. I'm just going to say congrats on everything. And I really enjoyed Motor City. That's also a nice,
Thank you. I'm glad you got to see that.
yeah, I covered it at TIFF. Listen, have a great day. I'll talk to you, I'm sure, again soon. Good luck with your speed dating.
Thank you. Thank you.